Number 15. Levitating. A classroom in Pune, India, unravels when one of its students begins showing signs of possession. Shared by Instagrammer Paranoid Normal, this footage appears to show the possessed student levitating. Demonic possession has long been a subject of fascination and fear. For centuries, accounts of demonic possession have appeared in various cultures, often linked to periods of social and religious upheaval. In medieval Europe, the Catholic Church documented numerous cases where individuals were believed to be possessed by evil spirits. The victims were said to exhibit a range of unsettling behaviors, from speaking in tongues to exhibiting unnatural strength. One of the most unsettling and compelling phenomena associated with demonic possession is levitation. Historical records and eyewitness accounts have described instances where the possessed would rise into the air, seemingly defying the laws of gravity. This levitation was often interpreted as a powerful sign of the demonic influence at work, convincing communities of the paranormal nature of the possession. Despite many cultural beliefs and historical accounts of demonic possession and levitation, some in the comments think this young woman is having a seizure of some sort, while others are saying she is being lifted by her classmates. But Instagrammer Lunatic the Pitbull offers another theory, writing, "Looks like something is lifting her by the torso, and it's not them. If it's not them, then who is it?" Number 14. Stalkers caught in the act. A former executive of multinational conglomerate 3M has been charged with felony stalking following an alleged window peeping incident, just a few blocks from his residence in Hudson, Wisconsin. Shared by Twitter user Lou Ragoose, the creepy video shows the suspect sneaking across the snow to the victim's window. The complaint does not specify any relationship between the suspect and the 4 women who lived inside the home. The suspect was offered a plea deal that would drop the stalking charge in favor of lesser misdemeanor trespassing and disorderly conduct charges. The suspect pleaded no contest, allowing his criminal record to be clean if he does not reoffend in the next 3 years. The victims were disappointed with the verdict and shared with news channel KARE11 how the incident has affected their lives.
I'm a lot more jumpy. Like, if the school bell goes off,
you look under your car, around your car, at the corner side of your house before you go in.
Many in the comments seem equally disappointed in the verdict. Stalking is a serious and pervasive crime that can escalate quickly, leading to significant psychological, emotional, and physical harm for its victims. According to the National Center for Victims of Crime, approximately 7.5 million people are stalked every year in the United States, with 61% of female victims and 44% of male victims being stalked by a current or former intimate partner. Stalking can erode a victim's sense of safety and well-being, leading to severe anxiety, depression, and a constant state of fear, which is exactly what the victims described experiencing. In extreme cases, stalking can escalate to violent attacks, underscoring the critical importance of early intervention and stringent legal measures to protect victims and prevent further harm. Many in the comments agree that this incident, and stalking in general, isn't taken seriously enough, and this case seems to be yet another rug sweep. Number 13. Time Traveler. Is this guy a time traveler, a teleporter, a magician, or is there a tunnel beneath this man's shed? Instagrammer Alex Shaw shares this series of mysterious videos involving a trespasser on his property. Only this trespasser is not what he seems. The man enters through the front gate and heads into the backyard. Alec first assumed that the man had plans to burglarize his home. When he sees the stranger enter his shed, he tries to address him over the security camera, but the man doesn't answer, nor does he ever leave the shed. Alec calls the police, who are seen on camera entering the property in order to confront the man. You see them head to the backyard and look around, and then they enter the shed, only to find nothing at all. The man just disappeared, while Alec live-streamed the shed the entire time. He says the man never left it. So, where did he go? Sharing the security footage with sound, the OP says you can hear the guy speak a little, but he doesn't say anything pertinent. The man walks around, throwing up his arms, and at one point, he whistles. The OP explains that this is an Airbnb he owns, so he was not at the residence at this time. The shed has only one door, no windows. Many in the comments suggest that maybe the camera just glitched and simply wasn't recording when the guy left. But Alec has taken a different track. Although in the next video he shares, he notes the following is speculation. This next bit is a wild trip. An Instagrammer named Maddie Ice did a reverse image search of the intruder captured on the Ring Cam and found this man, who they say resembles him. There is a striking resemblance, and after digging deeper, Maddie Ice found that the man, who was apparently a Harvard graduate, was obsessed with time travel. He posted incessantly on blogs about how it works. But in an even more shocking twist, The guy in question died in 2018. Even stranger, the obituary doesn't match the dates from both a family member posting about his death on Facebook and another newsprint that has the man dying a year earlier in 2017. Then, in the next video post, Alec delves into yet another strange theory about what's going on here that begins with the king of horror, Stephen King. King published a book in 2022 called Fairy Tale. The book is centered around an older man with a shed in his backyard. The shed is fitted with a staircase descending into another realm that is home to a fountain of youth. In the book, the man is actually 120 years old when he passes away. The video series continues with Alec looking into the history of his home, including previous owners and code violations. He found violations for an open shed and for the shed not being affixed, both in 2003. The open shed violation means that the shed wasn't enclosed properly. The affixed violation means that the shed wasn't securely attached to the ground. While these violations may not be significant to the case, they do throw up some red flags, considering the mystery that eventually unfolded in this shed. Next, he takes viewers on a tour of the so-called time travel shed. Many in the comments are worried about how the time travelers are going to pass through if he locks the shed. Others aren't so sure that there's not a hidden hole beneath the floorboards. Some suggest that the dryer itself is actually the portal. Alec then places a ring camera in the shed to monitor the going on there overnight. And this is what was captured. Although nothing odd happened, maybe that's for a reason. As Instagrammer TravyNicky13 noted in the comments, if he came from the future, he will know you'll have that there in the first place. That's a good point. With all this information, do you think this is actually a time traveler? A camera glitch? Or is there a hidden tunnel in this shed that Alec has yet to find? Believers are pushing Alec to dig deeper. They say something isn't right here. What do you think? Number 12. Ghost car. Is there a ghost at the wheel of this small motorized vehicle? Facebook user AppleMay3 shares this footage of a vehicle running amok and scaring everyone who crosses its path. Eventually, a passerby makes a brave attempt to stop the ghost-drawn vehicle, and his attempt is successful. But the incident leaves many wondering how this vehicle was driving itself in the first place. Stories of self-driving ghost cars are part of the broader tradition of ghost stories and urban legends. These tales often originate from regions with rich paranormal folklore, where unexplained phenomena are attributed to the spirits of the deceased. In particular, ghost cars are frequently linked to sites of tragic accidents, where the spirits of the dead are thought to stay on. One example is the so-called Ghost Taxi of Shanghai. As the story goes, a ghost taxi drives itself through the streets of Shanghai at night. Witnesses have claimed to see the taxi pick up passengers, who later disappear without a trace. There are similar versions of this legend in other cultures, involving a self-driving car that stops to pick up a passenger, only for the car and its phantom driver to vanish once the passenger reaches their destination. Is that what's happening here? Is this a phantom taxi driver, leaving their passenger to the wheel of fate? Perhaps. Or maybe this vehicle has simply stuck and spun out of control. Number 11. Glowing in the sky. TikToker Draco Reyes believes they've just witnessed an abduction by extraterrestrials. Just watch.
You ain't up, but that all but close to the moon. You see it?
The glowing object is getting closer and closer to the moon. And then, this happens.
Well, is up. Our government is up.
What was that?
Why? Bam!
What did it just hit?
Look at it. Look at the smoke ring.
The mysterious object drifts on, and for a while, you can see the strange blast out ahead of it until the shock waves disappear.
Like, what in the is that? There's the moon. This bullshit just sent a shockwave.
What is this thing? Some in the comments say they've seen the same thing in the sky. Others suggest it's just SpaceX, but that doesn't explain this.
Our government is up.
What was that?
Why? Bam!
What did it just hit?
Look at it. Look at this.
Many TikTokers think it looks like it opened a portal. That's a cool and terrifying idea. But those who still insist it's a SpaceX rocket say the smoke ring can be explained. TikToker Liana Aoyun writes, "The ring you saw was secondary boosters engaging for the final stretch into orbit. This seems possible, but the portal theory is far more interesting." Number 10. Flyover. Can you identify this unidentified flying object? Redditor Witwar101 says this flew over their building quickly, smoothly, and silently. The location is Burlington, Southern Ontario, Canada. They're wondering what it could be. At first glance, it appears like one aircraft, but some in the comments think otherwise. That's due to this. Redditor Rodaculus writes, "It almost looks like one of the lights caught up to the other ones." PN Caesar responds, "That's because there are 3 of them. and they're fly together and pretending to be a triangle. This could have been dismissed as a drone had the single light not strayed from the lineup. The OP adds some context in the comments, explaining that they've seen the same thing several times over the water of Hamilton Harbor area. In fact, they brought their night vision camera after seeing 3 bright fireball-like lights floating over the harbor. Some in the comments report seeing similar flying objects in various places across the US, including national parks. But others think the lights are birds, coupled with the camera or camera effect being used. Still others say the white stomachs of birds may simply be illuminated by the lights from surrounding buildings. What sounds like bird noises are also heard on the video at this point. So are these just migrating birds, or something more sinister? This one probably requires further investigation. Number 9. Dollar General Ghost. At the Dollar General in Humansville, Missouri, an employee named Katrina had often spoken of strange occurrences during her shifts. Cooler doors opening and shutting on their own, disembodied voices, and even a small trash can lid being mysteriously tossed. These eerie events happened when only the staff were present. Security footage, shared by YouTuber Humansville Paranormal Society, captured another event to add to the mystery. Is this what's been causing all the paranormal chaos? To add to the intrigue, the town of Humansville itself is steeped in haunted history. On March 26, 1862, the Civil War Battle of Humansville took place here, so the former battleground is believed to be littered with Civil War ghosts. In 1976, the town was shaken by a double murder that remains unsolved to this day. And the former historic hospital, presently a treatment center, adds another layer to the town's storied past. Considering the haunted atmosphere surrounding Humansville, this security camera may have captured one of the town's former residents in spirit form. Number 8. Shadow Person. A dark, shadowy figure darts past. Don't blink, or you may just think you're losing your mind. YouTuber Carrie9729's Wise camera captured disturbing footage of a figure moving through their home. Take a look.
It didn't even pick up that motion.
At first glance, it looks like it could be an intruder, but the way and speed at which it moves is inhuman.
Rewind it. It didn't even pick up that motion.
Some in the comments are shocked, calling it insane. Others say they'd only ever heard tell of this type of creature. YouTuber @RobertaRSantos writes, "I never saw a black figure like this. I've only seen other people reporting seeing it. Many in the East are saying it's a jinn, while those in the West claim it's a demon or other paranormal entity." Shadow people are typically spotted in bedrooms or dark hallways, and encounters can evoke a sense of fear or unease. They lack distinct features and are sometimes seen out of the corner of one's eye. This one just so happens to have flashed past a security camera.
It didn't even pick up that motion.
Shadow figures of this caliber are unusual to come across in the annals of ghostly video folklore. This is without a doubt an entity of some kind, but good or evil, we can only guess. Number 7. In the kitchen. Watch out for what is peeking around the kitchen door. Redditor Oopie Spoopy Man writes that they heard taps and noises from their kitchen, so they snapped a photo. And this is what they captured. Many in the comments saw nothing at first. That is, until they zoomed in. If you still don't see it, there's a white semi-transparent face watching from around the corner. For context, the OP writes, I live with 3 friends, but was home alone at the time of the picture. After taking it, I checked the kitchen and found no one. I then checked every room after, and no one else was in my house. Front door locked, and all windows were shut too. Some think the figure is Michael Myers, the fictional masked killer from the Halloween series. Others say it's been photoshopped. Redditor Effective Catch writes, the resolution in the image is different, more clear, only in the area of the face, mask. You can see the way the pixels are rendered in just that area is different. It's smoother looking than any other part of the entire image, which indicates it's been edited, probably with some kind of blur drawn in. Ghost Cheese responds with this photoforensics image. From this, they agree that some sort of editing brush tool has been used. While most in the comments are hoping that this is real, the skepticism is strong in this one, but the fear is real. Number 6. Friendly Ghost. When Redditor Fun Administration 28's friend called at 3 a.m., their camera revealed an unexpected visitor. Take a look. As some note in the comments, the figure looks like the Grudge. But the OP says they're from Malaysia, and they think the figure is a Pontianak, a sort of female vampire or vengeful spirit who died while giving birth. Pontianaks are supernatural entities rooted in Malay and Indonesian folklore, traditionally depicted with long black hair, red eyes, and a white dress stained with blood. These creatures haunt the living, particularly men, to exact revenge for their untimely and tragic deaths. The Pontianak story is often used to explain unexplained deaths and to instill cautionary tales about the treatment of women and the dangers of wandering alone at night. The entity is said to live in banana trees during the day and to emerge at night to prey on her victims, luring them with her beauty before revealing her true, horrifying nature. The OP explains, my friend, prior to sending this pic, always said the neighborhood is haunted. He saw some on the trees, saw Uncle Ghost living in an abandoned house. After seeing this photographic proof, the OP is a believer. Are you? Number 5. Alaskan Wilderness. These creepy sounds in Fairbanks, Alaska are freaking residents out. TikToker Cryptic shares the footage of what can only be described as sounds of terror unfolding.
It's coming from all directions.
Some in the comments think it's Siren Head, a modern-day boogeyman depicted as an emaciated humanoid figure, often described as being about 40 feet tall. Siren Head's most distinctive feature is, of course, its head, which consists of a pair of sirens or loudspeakers in place of a normal head. These sirens can emit various sounds, including emergency broadcasts, music, distorted voices, and other unsettling noises. Could these strange sounds belong to Siren Head? Other TikTokers are saying they've heard similar noises around Fairbanks. BioHulk writes, "We went hiking and we cut it short because we all felt like there was something watching us. We heard some strange noises when returning." As the video continues, a plane flies by. You can hear that too, but the mysterious noise starts up again in the background.
That's the plane. You hear that? Sounds like it's coming from up there. Sounds like it's coming from every direction.
Some commenters note that there have been similar captures all over the world, and this may be the sound of tectonic plates shifting, or digging being done in a tunnel, or maybe it's an extraterrestrial mating call.
Hear that?
What do you think it is? Number 4. Lights in the sky. While driving to their brother's wake at night, TikToker Hermosaflor03 spotted something unusual in the sky. It made them pull to a grinding halt.
What the f? No, I'm serious. Look at that. What is that?
Multicolored lights are blinking on what appears to be a hovering, unidentified flying object. But someone in the car believes they've identified it.
Look at this. What is that? That's f***ing light tower?
The OP insists it's not a light tower, but rather something more nefarious.
That's a UFO, man. That's a UFO.
Many in the comments say the first suggestion is correct. The object's stillness suggests it's a light tower, and some even claim they know it is. TikToker Darylyn J simply writes, "Tower. I've lived there my entire life. I know exactly where it is." Others say they've had the same experience, and when they returned to the area in the daylight, they found a cell tower which they'd previously assumed was an unidentified flying object. Although this is most likely a tower of some sort, you can't blame them for feeling frightened. In the pitch black sky, it does look ominously like an extraterrestrial spacecraft hovering above. Number 3. The Drifter. The Appalachian Mountains are notoriously spooky, and TikToker Mandy ASMR 22 has captured something that'll affirm that haunted reputation. Take a look. The TikToker asks, what does she/it want? The figure, which appears female, peers out from behind the shed a moment later. The stranger is demanding to be let in, and then simply announces that she's coming. Considering the creepiness of her movements, that seems like a threat. And then, a strange whistle is heard in the night. The voice speaks again, but it's difficult to discern what it's saying. The figure then, inexplicably, flees the scene. Some in the comments are wondering why the voice is so loud and clear when the strange woman is so far from the security camera. This discrepancy makes some doubt the authenticity of the clip, as they believe it sounds like the figure has been mic'd. Others are wondering if this is a real person or a paranormal entity. Considering this was captured in the Appalachian Mountains, who knows? TikToker Sabrina Dawn says she grew up in the Appalachians with this mantra: if you hear it, no you don't. If you see it, don't look at it. Keep curtains closed at night, and don't talk to it. Don't question any of it. This seems like good advice, and the OP should follow it. Number 2. Global extraterrestrial event. Do you believe that Earth is on the precipice of a global extraterrestrial event? That's the question posed by Instagrammer Unanswered Universe, and they share this video as evidence that just such an event may be on the horizon. At least a dozen pinpricks of light are suspended in the sky. They appear to be in formation, and it's difficult to say whether or not they're moving. The video claims these lights were captured in England, but as many have noted in the comments, the English drive on the left-hand side, so the vehicles are on the wrong side of the road. Some also note that red barns are more of an American thing, so this is more likely to be America than England. Regardless of location, the theories are rolling in. Instagrammer Fabian Carlo Alpha suggests, I think they are drones all around the world to convince us of an extraterrestrial attack. But others think it's either a natural phenomenon or can be explained by something much more down to earth. On-stage photos suggest the lights are military flares from either a helicopter or fighter plane doing exercises. Lewis Dublin confirms this, writing, "We use this on military training exercises. It's 81mm illum. After researching what 81mm illumination mortar rounds look like, this does seem like a very real possibility. Or it could be extraterrestrials descending. The answer is up in the air. Number 1. The portal opens. This soundtrack should just be titled Otherworldly Mystery. TikToker KK is my name shares this footage shot in Canmore, Alberta. The unsettling and yet harmonious sound is one that's been heard around the world, which makes some believe it's a natural occurrence. This might be what is known as sky trumpets, or skyquakes, often described as trumpet blasts, metallic scraping, or loud booms with unknown origins. The unidentifiable sounds can last from a few seconds to several minutes, and are sometimes accompanied by vibrations. They've been heard in both urban and rural areas, with no apparent source visible to those who hear them. And strangely enough, they've been documented for centuries. Possible explanations are that the source is atmospheric or geological activity. It also could be man-made, from something like industrial machinery, drones, or broadcasting equipment. Others suggest that the sound could literally be apocalyptic sky trumpets. A number of TikTokers in the comments from all over the world say they've heard similar sounds in the atmosphere, seeming to emanate from the sky. Is it the rapture? Maybe not, but it's definitely something they didn't want trending online.